Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create my part in SolidWorks. And so you can use this video to study, help you to create your own plan, use your sketch to help you create your own steps for your video. So this is my completed part. It has everything that you're required to have for the final. If you look, I have 7 cut extrudes and 1 boss extrude. I told you you needed a minimum of 2 cut extrudes and a total of 8, which I have here. So what I really did, looking at mine, I created a block, and most of you have seen this, and then I just cut away at it one bit at a time, 1 cut extrude at a time. And I'm using this blue line, and all it does is suppress everything until, as you're showing it. And my last was my circle. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to create it, and I have my steps up. So remember, you do need your steps. You need your sketch and your steps to create your part. And I'm not sure why I have 2 of them open. If you look at my steps, I am having some technical difficulties. So if you look at my steps, I have, it just goes in order from the new file new part. So I create a new part, I change the inches to millimeters, and then it just repeats. Create a sketch, wherever you need your sketch to be, and I might need to restart SolidWorks. So give me a second. Okay, so I've restarted SolidWorks. Hopefully we don't have the same issues. But okay, if you look, it's create a sketch. I tell you where to create the sketch. Next is draw a rectangle. I tell you how big it is that you need to draw it, and then and where to draw it. And then I told you to extrude, boss, and then I just go over again. Create a sketch on then whatever, wherever surface or whatever plane, and then I tell you how big, and then extrude, cut. So it's just the same thing over and over again. It's nothing too complex. Going to SolidWorks, we're going to start by creating a sketch on the top plane. Let's close this. So I'm creating a sketch on the top plane. And I said to draw a rectangle. So I create a sketch on the top plane, and then I tell you to draw a rectangle from the origin that is 60 millimeters wide and 80 millimeters long. Again, if you're, so I didn't do one thing, and you need to make sure to do this before you do anything, and that is me not following my own instructions. Again, you need to change your inches to millimeters, so change it to millimeters. If you already started your sketch, then all you have to do is go back, click on the sketch, and then hit edit sketch. So I'm in millimeters now, and I said that it was 60 millimeters wide and 80 millimeters long. And then I go into extrude, extrude boss, sketch blind, 100 millimeters tall. So I'm just going to click on features, and I'm going to click on extrude boss and type in 100 millimeters. Hit the green check, and now I have that block, and I'm starting off with the block, and I'm just going to cut away at the block. I'm going to, if you think about having a big block of metal and just cutting away to find your part, and that's all I'm doing. So the next thing I'm going to do, following my next steps, create a sketch on the left of the extruded rectangle. So creating a sketch using my arrows to create my sketch, to find where it is I'm going to sketch. You got to make sure it's highlighted orange, click on it, hit Control 8 to make it normal, and now you can create a sketch on the left side. Draw a square that starts from the top left dot of the rectangle and down 40 millimeters, and it is 40 millimeters wide. It is a square. So it says top left. Again, if you need to zoom out, you just put your fingers on the trackpad and you push them together. Or well, that's to zoom in. And to zoom out, put them on the trackpad and push them apart. And then I'm going to draw from the top left dot. Just draw my square. Smart dimension it. It is 40 by 40. And I'm going to extrude cut. I'm going to extrude cut that all the way up to the next surface. Okay, and then my next one, create a sketch on the left surface of the cube from step 5. So the same surface that I created my last one in. Draw a rectangle from the top right dot that goes down 80 millimeters and is 20 millimeters wide. So I am going to create a sketch on this surface here that I'm already on. And then I'm going to create a rectangle from the top right dot, and it is 20 millimeters wide and 80 millimeters tall. And I'm just going to extrude cut that, and it's going to be an up to next. I am going to post this video on YouTube so you can slow it down if you need to have a better idea of where my mouse clicks are going. So the next step, I'm on step 12. Create a sketch on the right surface of the extruded rectangle. So I'm going to create my sketch on the right surface. Control 8. And I am going to draw a rectangle that is along the 80 millimeter line of the left of the view. So that longer line is where I'm going to start my rectangle. It is 40 millimeters wide and 20 millimeters long, and also 20 millimeters from the bottom baseline. Refer to the right view. So I can go straight to my right view because I told myself to refer to the right view. And I'm saying I want to draw a rectangle, and it looks like I want a 20 millimeter by 40 millimeter. I probably should have labeled that. That should be 40 millimeters. And it's 20 millimeters from the bottom base. And because I know my blocks are all 20 millimeters, I kind of know where I'm talking about. But this is why dimensions are important, so you know exactly where it is that you're trying to focus on. So it said refer to the right view, so I'm drawing this rectangle right in here. So I start right at this point. I'm locked in. You didn't necessarily have to start at that point, but I did tell in my instructions, I told you that you needed to do it from 20 millimeters from the bottom. That point is 20 millimeters from the bottom. But if you didn't start at that point, then all you would do, and I'm going to delete this little relation here so I can show you. All I would do, because it can move up and down and all around, I'm going to hit escape. Then I'm going to hit smart dimension. Because I deleted that relation, it actually deleted it from the line as well. So I'm just going to fix that. And I can show you what I'm doing. All I'm doing is clicking on this line, holding down control, clicking on this line, and making them collinear so they're along the same line. But as long as you click on that line, you don't have to do that. And so I'm fully defined. Remember that your sketches have to be fully defined. And I'm going to extrude cut, and it was a blind 40. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. Moving on to cut extrude number 4. Create a sketch on the bottom of the base. Draw a rectangle from the bottom line up, 20 millimeters wide, 60 millimeters tall, and 20 millimeters from the left. So just using my arrows to find the bottom. Going to sketch. And all I'm doing is making sure to click on that base so I can select it. Drawing from the bottom up. Smart dimension. 20. I believe it said 60, right? 60 millimeters tall. And 20 from each side. So I'm just clicking on that line, clicking on the line from the rectangle, and telling it that it is 20. And that is a blind extrude 20, I believe. So 20, blind 20. Extrude cut 20. Hitting the green check. Control 7. Ooh. And that's where that cut is in there. Okay, I'm moving on to cut extrude number 5. This is actually pretty quick if you work through it. And so now I'm creating a sketch that is a rectangle created from step 8. So it's telling me the top view of cut extrude 1. So that kind of tells me where it needs to go, because I need to be kind of specific, because I am just going to be sketching on this face here. And so now I know where I'm sketching. I'm drawing a rectangle from the point that's 40 millimeters from the bottom on the left line. So it's 20 millimeters tall and 40 millimeters wide. So 40 millimeters, I know that each block is 20, so I'm over here and I sit on the left line. And I said it was 20 millimeters tall and 40 wide. And that is an extrude cut that is 20 blind. Already set on 20, I'm just going to hit the green check. Okay, part's looking pretty good. Moving on to cut extrude number 6, so I'm doing my, probably should have wrote that there. Cut extrude 6. Create a sketch on the front surface of the rectangle created in step 11, so cut extrude 2. Draw a rectangle that starts at the point towards the bottom half that is 20 millimeters from the left and 40 millimeters from the bottom line. The rectangle is 40 millimeters tall and 20 millimeters wide. So it says 20 millimeters, point that is 20 millimeters from the left and 40 millimeters from the bottom line. So I'm doing a sketch here. Control 8, 20 millimeters from the left and 40 millimeters from the bottom line. So right here at this point. And I said it was 20 millimeters wide. Oops, that's not 20. And 40 millimeters tall. And I believe that is an extrude cut the sketch 20 millimeters blind. So my part is exactly like it is in the blocks. I'm just missing the circle. So you really did not need to make too complex of a part. I am going to show you how to do the circle. And it says, create a sketch on the right-hand surface. Draw a circle that is the top corner of the right side. The circle is 7 millimeters in diameter, and it's 10 millimeters from the right and 10 millimeters from the closest top line. So doing a sketch here, I am going to run out of time. So I'll see you in the next video.